Well, you are in for a very special treat today because we're going to be making the copycat version of Panera Bread's cheese and broccoli soup, and it is going to be delicious. So I was inspired to make this meal because of some beautiful broccoli that they had on sale at Aldi. So I picked me up a nice packet of it, and I had all the other ingredients, and I thought, you know what? My little 3-year-old and 5-year-old grandsons are coming to spend the night tonight, and the 3-year-old just loves broccoli and he loves cheese, so I know this is going to be a special treat for him. So let's make this soup. So we're going to start off this recipe by using 1/4 cup of butter, and we're going to melt it in our pan. And to that, we're going to add 1/2 cup of chopped onions. And we're just going to let those saute, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. Now, I know this is a scary looking pan, but I have scoured it. And this is the pan that I make my sourdough bread in, that I bake it in. So, I don't know, it just always seems like it's just so hard to get all the baked coloring off the enamel. All right, so I am just gonna saute this for a few minutes. I want these onions to become cooked enough that they're slightly translucent. So while I'm waiting for this onions and butter to heat up and cook for a few minutes, I'm gonna clean my broccoli and my carrots and just get them all ready for the next step. Okay, I've got my onions the way I want them. I'm gonna be adding 2 cups of chicken broth, chicken stock, to my pan. I'm also going to be adding 2 cups of 1/2 and 1/2, and I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to turn the heat down to medium, and then we're going to add our broccoli and our carrots. So I've got 3 cups of chopped broccoli that's all washed and cleaned. I'm just letting it dry, and I'm taking a cup of very small chopped carrots. Now, these are little carrots that I grew out of my garden. I've got tons of them. They should last us pretty much the whole summer. And the reason is because I start off fixing them by just thinning them. And as I thin them, we eat them. And then as the bigger ones get bigger, we eat those. And by the end of the summer, I'm usually canning the ones that are the biggest. So that's kind of my process. But in California, we can have carrots growing year-round, and they're just so good and so sweet. I think these were from the row that had the Danvers carrots, and they are super sweet. Okay, my soup has started to boil. I'm going to turn it down to medium, and I'm going to go ahead and add my broccoli and my carrots to the mix. So first, I'm going to add my broccoli, kind of gently, so I don't have a big mess here, and my carrots. And I'm just gonna give that a little stir. Now I'm gonna put my lid on this, and I'm gonna let this cook down for about 20 minutes, and we will continue to stir it throughout this process. So while I'm waiting for my broccoli and my carrots to cook, I'm gonna go ahead and start grating about 8 ounces of a nice, good quality, sharp cheddar cheese. And sometimes I use my I have a little rotary grater, like a little handheld grater, but I use this a lot of times too when I don't have too much. So I'm just gonna grate this up, and it'll be done before you know it. I have to apologize, I forgot a step. When I was doing the butter and the onions, I should have sprinkled 1/4 cup of flour over those at that point. I completely forgot. So what I've done is just add 1/4 cup of flour to just a little bit of water, enough to make a paste. And I'm gonna put it in while this broccoli and this carrot mixture is cooking. It will come out just fine. The most important thing is that it gets cooked. So I am just going to give it a stir and let it continue cooking. So I'm continuing to stir this until the broccoli is completely cooked, until the carrots are cooked. It's definitely thickened up a little bit. And I think just because I've got the grandkids coming tonight, I may use my immersion blender just to blend up some of the broccoli so that they're not seeing huge pieces of broccoli in this. I'm also going to send some of this to my son, and although he loves cheese broccoli soup, he also doesn't want to see himself eating anything healthy. So I'm gonna continue to let this cook. I'm waiting for the 20-minute timer to go off, and then I think I'm gonna use my immersion blender. All right, our 20 minutes is up, and this is how our soup looks at this point. Now, if it was just for me, honestly, I would just leave the broccoli just like it is. I wouldn't break it up at all, but like I said, I want my grandkids to try it. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and add my cheese. As I said, I've got 8 ounces of a really good sharp cheddar that I've grated up just for this recipe. All right, and then we're just gonna give it a couple little stirs. Get this cheese all melted into the soup. And then I'm gonna turn it off at this point. I'm gonna add a little bit, actually I'm not gonna turn it off yet. I want all the cheese melted. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. And this is just a taste. I can't really tell you how much, however much you like. A little bit of pepper. And I'm gonna put in about 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Just like that. Give it a little stir. And then I'm gonna give it a taste and see what I think. That actually looks really beautiful. I'm just tasting for flavor, so I'm not gonna take a big hunk of it. Oh, that is so good. Wow. That is broccoli cheddar soup, just like Panera makes. So at this point, I'm gonna take this off the stove. I'm actually gonna let it cool because I'm gonna put it in some containers, and I'm gonna send some with my son, and then I'm also just gonna heat some up tonight for my grandchildren. Let's give this soup a try. Oh my gosh. Tastes just like Panera. It is so good. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make your own food. It's easy. There's so many recipes online and so many things that taste just as good, if not better, than the restaurants. So if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring the bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.